Andrei vs. the Odd Ones Out. Fan fiction by Moscow. Animation by Andrei. Enjoy.
They used to be friends. They trained together with the same sensei, Sensei Warudo. Son Andrei and Son James trained to fight in the World Martial Arts Tournament. They trained to be the best martial artists in the world. Son Andrei and Son James trained hard, but Sensei Warudo always say something in Son Andrei. What? The place where they trained was huge. Huge, I tell you, it was huge. The tournament would be coming up soon. During a sparring match, something had happened. There was a fire. Well, that's random. It burned it all down. The tournament would be held tomorrow. Well, fuck, we don't have time to train. Shit, isn't that inconvenient? It was sunset when the place they called home was all ash. I mean, fires usually last a little longer than that, but sure, we'll go with it. They slept in the woods. The tournament was now today. Are we just gonna jump over the whole sleeping in the woods thing? Cause like there's a lot of storytelling that you could do there, probably, I don't know. Okay, so the tournament was now today. Son Andrei did great. I don't mean to brag, but of course he did. But Son James' fighting seemed different. Something seemed off about him that day. The final match was Son Andrei and Son James. Son James was engulfed in his rage and almost killed Son James. Wait, what? Son James was engulfed in his rage and almost killed Son James. What the fuck? So, I don't know, one of them was engulfed in rage. 10 years go on, and it has been a decade since the tournament. Well, yeah, that's what 10 years means. Son James has trained ever since and has vowed to fight Son Andrei again to defend his honor and his pride. Though Son James did meet a woman named Jaden. Fuck, plot twist, he married Jaden Animations, and they got married. Son James was surprised to see that after she was pregnant. Why would he be surprised? I mean, I kind of get it. They seem to be different species. No offense to Odd Ones Out, but I don't know. Is he human? Can he even procreate? I don't want to get into that whole thing. But anyway, we're just gonna move on, okay? So she was pregnant, and they had a daughter named Jamden. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but okay. Son Andrei was walking out to get something. No one knows what. He never told a soul. Son James knew. I mean, wait a minute. What was I getting? Tell me, I need to know. Son James knew where Andrei would be and ambushed him. Oh shit! Son Andrei opened his eyes and was surprised at what he saw. Was I just walking with my eyes closed the whole time? What's happening here? It was Son James. Son James, is that you? He exclaimed. Yes, I've been waiting for this day, he responded. What are you talking about? Son Andrei asked. Ever since you beat me in the World Martial Arts Tournament, I've been training ever since, and now I have come for a rematch, he answered. You've been holding such a petty grudge for 10 years? Andrei said. Yes. Though I shacked up with a lady and I have a daughter. What the fuck? Though I shacked up with a lady and I have a daughter. She wants to have a strong dad and I will never disappoint her. I mean, I don't know. That it doesn't sound like you're a very committed father figure, but okay. A daughter? Andrei laughed. James was offended at that statement and decided to attack him. What James didn't know was that Andrei still trained. Andrei had a fighting spirit. It was what Sensei Warudo saw. James' desires were always plagued, distorted, and quite creepy. I love this! It was what Sensei Warudo liked about Andrei. Andrei had dodged most of his attacks. So you've been training too? James proclaimed. Of course. Why wouldn't I? Andrei said. Naive. That will get you killed. Do not underestimate me, James said. The fight kept raging on. Andrei smirked, but was later caught off guard and hit. It was a hard blow. Ow! Andrei shouted. Now. You didn't think I'd really let you surpass me, did you? James asked. James held Andrei's neck, ready to kill him by lack of air. That's a interesting way to put it. I'm gonna kill you by lack of air. How could you do this, James? This is shameful. Haven't you learned nothing from Sensei Warudo? Andrei barely managed to say, like I said, I'd never let you surpass me. I'll do all it takes for your death. Ditto, Andrei said. That's not very dramatic. Huh? James's face turned from a smirk to a surprise. He had let his guard go. Andrei turned Super Saiyan. Oh shit! Plot twist, motherfucker! He kicked James's balls and threw him to the ground. Did I really need to go Super Saiyan for that? James was surprised. How could this be? James asked. Sensei Warudo favored me for a reason, Andrei exclaimed. What? James shouted. It's because I had a fiery passion for fighting, and you'd use it for vengeance and other disgraceful things, Andrei said. I'm terribly curious what those disgraceful things are, but anyway, now leave. You're hurt enough as it is. Leave and never come back, Andrei shouted. James ran to his home, beaten and bloody, and more importantly, in shame. The end. Wow, that's amazing. I think this is a little bit biased. I think the person who wrote this favors one of us more than the other one. I want to add like an epilogue to this where I go to James's house the next day and I'm like, oh hey, I brought apple pie. Can we squash the beef and just be friends again? And then we shake hands and they invite me in to have a nice bonding dinner together. Unless one of us dies in the meantime.